All right, let's talk Sam Darnold of the Seattle Seahawks, who, listen, not ultimately a heartbreaking loss for the Seattle Seahawks, right? They had this game, it felt like they had it won, ultimately weren't able to finish the job here. But I do think, like, what Sam Darnold was able to do in this one is nothing short of remarkable, and he deserves a film study to talk about the great play that he had. So yeah, let's just get into it. Let's start off with the play you see on your screen. Gonna be this really just goes to show the high level that the Seahawks were playing with at times. This is Cooper Kupp in a one-on-one matchup, running a route on a 3rd down and 6. Watch as when Darnold takes a snap, he looks in Kupp's direction. First, there's contact at the line. This is physical and usually when there's this little separation, you're like, this probably just isn't going to work. This is going to end up being incomplete. But watch this perfect throw from Darnold and a great catch and great job by Kupp to roll forward and pick up that first down. Even if they're a yard short, they probably go for it, I would think. But there, it's a guarantee to, get the first down. So that was an impressive play early on. Moving over here, it is worth mentioning, the Seahawks went almost the entire first 2 quarters without scoring points. I mean, there's 9 seconds left in the half. They have yet to get on the scoreboard. So it's kind of, we'll talk about the offensive explosion in the second half, but part of it was them beating themselves. They had a Jalen Milroe trick play that resulted in a fumble. That's not ideal. But here, they want a touchdown. You're down 13. 3 points just doesn't feel like enough at this point. And you see, for zone coverage, in a lot of ways, this is the one-on-one matchup with Jackson Smith and Jigba, and this is the depth corner that Tampa Bay is playing in this spot. So smart by Seattle to see how Tampa Bay's lined up and put Smith and Jigba on a depth corner. And then, as you see, when Darnold takes the snap, it's just a great route. I mean, where is Smith and Jigba going right now? Well, because I put it on the screen. But if you didn't, it's hard to say, but he cuts over the middle. He gets open, a great route and a great throw from Darnold, and they're able to score a touchdown. That was the first of 5 consecutive touchdowns that the Seattle Seahawks would score offensively. I mean, just crazy. Now going over here, so this was another huge play. It's going to be a designed rollout towards the top of the screen for Darnold here. Watch how when he takes the snap, you're going to see that right here. So in motion, but Tampa Bay has a defender right in his face. I mean, he wants to get this throw down the field, and honestly, it's not even that open down the field, but he's going to decide to try this anyway. And as you see, there's some contact, and off the hand, you're like, okay, is that one just going to flutter up and get intercepted? That's what you're thinking live, right? Because that's how a lot of those plays can go. But Darnold's just strong enough, he can still get it down the field just to give his receiver a chance. It's Derek Young, and watch Young be able to box out the Tampa Bay defender. He was also, there was a penalty on the play. It was defensive holding. So while it would have been a first down, we've only gained 5 yards. So getting to 35 yards instead, definitely a big play. Also, so much of, we have to talk about Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's such a unstoppable force here for Seattle. First, this one, it's going to be it's a one-on-one matchup on a 1st and 10. And watch how when this play begins, corner starts to bail. There's it's not even a full play action, but just the threat of the run brings so much Tampa Bay defenders further in. I believe there's a run blitz going on as well. Darnold flips this one to Smith and Jigba, and it's like a free 10 yards right there, right? Or I guess 11 or 12 yards. I mean, it's just a free first down because you don't want to get beat deep by him, right? Okay, well, what if you don't do that? Well, you can try something like this. So this is another pure one-on-one matchup. Now he is going to be going down the field. 3rd and 6, and if they don't convert here, they're probably kicking a field goal to still be down 4 points. Maybe they go for it. I don't know. But Darnold's going to take the snap, and we'll never know because you see that he makes a great back shoulder throw, and Smith and Jigba, he bobbled it a little bit, but was still able to hang on, and he kind of put his feet down 100 times before getting out of bounds, so was able to make sure he stays in bounds. Good awareness of where that is, so being able to move the sticks and make plays like that. And then also this play where this is going to be a 2nd down and 2. It's zone coverage. Smith and Jigba running just a deep shot down the field right here. And essentially what's going to happen is Darnold takes the snap, he runs a play action and sees that the safety has picked up Smith and Jigba, but he's the only player who is covering Smith and Jigba. So it's a safety on Smith and Jigba. You're like, okay, sure, let's throw the ball in this direction. Granted, it's a Pro Bowl, or not even Pro Bowl, all-pro safety Antoine Winfield. That's not the easiest safety to throw on right here. But Darnold just puts one up, and look at that play by Smith and Jigba. It looked like Winfield even got his hands on the ball, but just Smith and Jigba so strong. He's able to make the play and still not just move the sticks, but get a huge gain as well to set up another touchdown. That was a game-tying touchdown right there. So yeah, Jackson Smith and Jigba, very good at football. And then there was also this play, which I think it was like, I was kind of wondering, is this the right time to go for it? So it's 4th down and 2. You're in field goal range. You could go up 3 with around 3 minutes left and just say, you're at least leading. And if Tampa Bay does score, there probably will be time left to try and make something else happen. But again, I think quite frankly, the way this offense was playing, they're just like, we're probably going to convert here. So let's put the ball in Darnold's hands and good things will happen. Darnold's going to take the snap and good things are not going to happen at the start of this play. Nothing is open. Multiple Tampa Bay defenders are right in Darnold's face. I mean, if they tackle him, this you feel like the game's over. It's not, obviously, but with 3 minutes left, you feel like Tampa Bay can march down the field, kick a field goal, and just win the game. But watch Darnold just slip through multiple defenders like he's covered in butter or something, and then while under pressure, hits a wide open Seattle player. They never really showed a wide shot. I don't know how he got so open there, but ultimately, he'll take it. Okay, great awareness, though, to understand the field, know where everything is, and find a way to make the play. So definitely good stuff. Now, we have to talk about the pick at the end. It's unfortunate, right? Because this was such a good day that, you felt like he shouldn't even have to be put in a situation where you have to go down the field and win it here. But ultimately, 56 seconds left, all your timeouts, the way this offense is going. I'm a Tampa Bay fan. I wasn't even celebrating the game-tying touchdown because I'm like, well, Seattle's probably going to win it. But you still have to make the plays, and Tampa Bay is going to go with a bit of an exotic blitz here. They've been trying this a bit, and it wasn't really working too well. Here, though, Seattle doesn't fully pick up the blitz. They had the right amount of people on that side, too, but just didn't quite get their protection correct there. Sam Darnold about to get hit. You see where, Cooper Kupp and where Levante David are here, and it's like, I don't know. I mean, on one hand, ideally, should you probably just throw this one into the dirt and live with a 3rd down and 2? Obviously, in hindsight, yes. But Darnold had been kind of playing with fire and not even getting close to getting burned in this game. He's been making play after making play, trusting his receivers. Here, it's, he gets hit, it goes off of a defender's helmet, and Levante David makes an incredible catch to, be aware and know where the ball was and be able to grab it. So, great job by him and great defense to kind of bump Cooper Kupp off the route in a legal manner to allow for it to be an interception. So, great play by him. Sometimes you got to tip your cap. And again, with all the great Darnold did in this game, to freak out over one bad play at the end, realistically, if, Seattle had so many injured corners, if they have a decent defensive performance, they're not even in this situation. So, yeah. I mean, a really good day from Darnold. And, that's the thing to hang your hat on. I know being 3-2 is disappointing when you could have been 4-1. They kind of have just a row of interesting games. Jacksonville, Houston, Washington, Arizona, the Rams. Those are a bunch of teams that are, I think, competitive. All 5 of those games should be interesting. So fascinating seeing what Seattle does down the stretch. But I do think there was some concern about, they got rid of Geno Smith, who was solid for them for the past few years. They added Sam Darnold, who, has had really one good year in the NFL. Geno Smith has not looked good with the Raiders, and Sam Darnold has looked just as good, if not better, than he was with the Vikings. So, from that perspective, it feels like they have a quarterback, and they should have a quarterback for quite some time because they got a younger quarterback as well with that move. So that's the exciting thing if you are a Seahawks fan. But yeah, that's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from ya. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.